Hi, I'm Antonio Centeno, the founder of Real Men Real Style. I'm going to be sharing with you all a question I received this weekend. Basically, Antonio, do you ever get tired of dressing sharp? I think this is a good question, and I'm going to give you the 5 reasons why my answer is no. Okay, so this weekend I've been in Las Vegas at the New Media Expo, and I've enjoyed every moment of this, meeting amazing people from around the world, a wide range of careers. I think I was one of the only, probably the only style guy there. And people coming just with amazing interests, sales coaches, business coaches, speakers. I met Pat Flynn from Smart Passive Income. Who else did I meet? I'm going to share with you a couple other people I met. Jamie Tardy over at the Eventual Millionaire. Amazing people. And I had never met any of these people in person, and I've been following, reading about their blogs, so I knew that it was important. I dressed, I dressed pretty much in accordance with how I probably normally dress on my videos. And over the last 3 days, and by the way, guys, I did wear pants. I see what you guys, because you never see anything below the fold here, but I did officially have to wear pants on because I didn't get arrested while I was in Vegas. But over the last 3 days, I got asked a lot of questions. And this question in particular I thought was very interesting. And so I'm going to share this really with you. It was, Antonio, do you ever get tired of dressing sharp? And this came in, I was talking with a number of people about shooting video, and they were often asking this because it was like, oh, you got to dress up, and you're in the style industry and people are going to tear apart the way you look and all these little things about it. So do you ever feel it's hard to, do you get tired of doing this? And my answer is no. Because, and why is this relevant to you? Because you're probably asking yourself, when should I dress sharp and when can I dress down? When can I not dress sharp? When can I, kind of let it all hang out? So my answer was no, and these are the 5 reasons why I don't get tired of dressing sharp. Because I practice, because my clothing fits me, because of the environment and the occasion I'm in, and the compliments I receive, and the confidence it gives me. So let me go ahead and get into each of these 5. So practice. You have to make dressing sharp a habit. It's not something that you just do once in a while and think you're going to fall right into it. Habits are effortless because we no longer have to think about it. Think about brushing your teeth. It's a habit you don't think about unless you're put in a position in which you can't do it. So you also set things up, and I talk about this in the interchangeable wardrobe. I help men develop this in my style system. But we develop systems so that dressing sharp is easier than not dressing sharp. All the clothing I brought a small suitcase. Everything was interchangeable, and everything was about me putting my best foot forward. As an athlete, think about it. A lot of you guys can relate to this. I grew up in West Texas. We played football. We practiced a lot. Games only came once a week, and they came on Fridays. And I can tell you that on game day, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot easier because we had practiced everything we were already doing. It seemed like hundreds and hundreds of times. And the same thing for those of you that are musicians out there. You don't just go on stage and play for the first time. You have rehearsed and gone through this thousands of times. So when you get up there, it's almost like it's muscle memory. So that's the same with dressing sharp. You don't go out there and try to pull off clothing that you haven't worn, that you feel uncomfortable in. What you're actually wearing, you've worn before, and you feel good in. Fit. So well-fitted clothing actually is very, very comfortable. This shirt fits me well. It's got a high armholes. Everything about this shirt I really like. It's the right sleeve length. It's not tight anywhere. Oftentimes people, when they wear poorly fitted clothing, it not only looks bad, and oftentimes if they're wearing poorly fitted clothing that doesn't even fit their environment or fit their personal style, it's restrictive as well. Clothing that is way too big on you is not going to be, you aren't going to have as much movement. High armholes, fitting you well in the crotch area, all of that actually gives you more movement. That's why jeans are actually so enjoyable to wear, because they actually think of how the jeans, a well-fitted pair of denim, fits you in the crotch area. It's probably a bit tighter than your pair of dress slacks, which you may have bought off the rack, and because there's so much room there, because of the crotch hangs so low, you can barely move your legs if you think about it. So well-fitted clothing is very comfortable. Now let's talk about the environment and the occasion. I'm a custom clothier. There was an expectation after I started talking with people for a while, If I had shown up in a t-shirt and jeans, even though if it was a very expensive t-shirt and jeans, that would not connect with who I was and the occasion I was there for. I would have had a disconnect between what people imagined a custom clothier and a style guy is, versus who I was presenting. So for me, it was important that I did wear a sports jacket, a nice dress shirt, and I oftentimes wore my raw denim with Western boots, although I did wear gray flannel trousers along with a pair of monk straps. But dressing sharp, guys, does not mean that you have to wear a suit. I saw a lot of well-dressed men, not too many, but yeah, it was a new media expo, a bunch of internet guys. There was a lot. Most guys were not dressed, let's just say, well, but there were some guys who were dressed very sharp, but they were not in a suit. They weren't even wearing a sports jacket, but they were dressed in a manner that was right for them. And I'll use the example, my new friends, Tony and Dre, over at Securi Security in San Diego, California. Now, Tony here, Zero Compassion Perez, and Dre Toxlaw Armada. These guys were from San Diego, California. They're in the online internet security business. They weren't going to be wearing suits. These guys are these are not IBM guys. These are doing their own thing. Dre's actually a Navy veteran. Tony, come to find out, we're talking here. This guy was on the same boat, and when we went over to Iraq for the first time, we were both on the Belleau Wood together. So that was actually pretty cool to meet somebody who was on the same boat heading over to the same big event in March of 2003. But very cool guys. They had a style. I mean, look at Dre's hat. I can tell you, he was wearing that hat when I saw him on the floor. I saw his picture when I did a little bit of research on the people I wanted to meet. That hat instantly grabbed my attention. Now, he pulled it off really well. It seemed like a second skin. It was all about his image and presentation. That was style, and he pulled it off very well. The same with Tony. I just got to fit. Tony is a Harley Davidson rider. He's all about, a loose, San Diego, Southern California kind of free kind of feel. And the way he was dressed matched that exactly. That's what I consider to be dressing right for your environment and the occasion. Compliments. During the conference, I received about 10 compliments a day on how I looked. Most of them from women, and it felt really good. And I spoke with Matthew Kimberly, a guy I'd been talking with before who I met for the first time, a well-dressed Brit and an excellent sales coach. He'd received about the same. And we talked about it. It was just interesting the way people would react to you when you were really well-dressed. Compliments feel good, gentlemen. And when you receive compliments, you start to give them out more freely. You just feel better. You're on this high. And I can tell you that I had a great conversation with the PR manager of military.com, because when I saw her, I didn't know her. I mean, she was a very attractive woman, but I noticed her shoes. Her shoes, she had these, looked like snakeskin. They weren't real snakeskin, but they looked like these snakeskin shoes. And I was like, wow, those are some amazing shoes. And instantly we got into a conversation. It wasn't the typical, what do you do? It was a fun conversation, a bit playful. Next thing I know, find out she's the PR manager for military.com, and we're talking about another idea that I'm working on the side to help military vets better transition out. So it was a great conversation that was I got into it because I complimented her, I made her feel great. And by the way, Matthew Kimberly's book is called How to Get a Grip. It's right on Amazon. I advise you check it out. He's an excellent sales coach, so if you're a business guy, check it out. Confidence. All right. So all of this has helped and really helped build up my confidence. Confidence comes from a number of things, but it is something that we can gain, we can lose within a matter of seconds and minutes. And all of that, what I just talked about, helped build up my confidence while I was there. When other people project a positive feeling, you can't help but radiate confidence and strength. I got to share with you guys, Pat Flynn, during his presentation, he pointed me out and he thanked me for a video I'd sent him on how to improve his style a couple years ago. And I can tell you that him thanking me, giving me that great compliment in front of all those people, it just made me feel so great. And I felt like I was radiating, because it was 2 years later to get recognized for putting in some effort, and to see him up there dressing sharp. And here's a guy, he writes over at Smart Passive Income, amazing blogger, and to see him transform his style based off of something I was able to give him, it was I couldn't help but walk a little bit taller throughout the rest of the conference. So did I speak at New Media Expo? No. But I had a dozen people tell me I should be. And that helped a lot. I mean, it really, I'm already looking at, man, maybe I should be, instead of just going to these events, speaking at them. So it's really nice when you're mistaken for a VIP. I even had some guy, I don't know if he was drunk, but he asked if I was a quarterback. And it was some older guy down on the casino floor. And I don't know, I'm only 5'9". Maybe with my boots I was 5'11". But I can tell you that right there, it was like, wow, maybe I am projecting a better image than even I thought I was. So my clothing, guys, was my suit of armor, and it performed brilliantly. So Antonio, don't you get tired of dressing up? The answer is no, guys, because dressing sharp is part of who I am. So to answer that question I asked, you is, don't ever think that you ever have to dress down. Instead, even your casual clothing, even your clothing around the house, why can't it look good? Why can't you have a bit of style with it? Why can't, if it fits you well, it's going to be comfortable. I'm not acting, I'm authentic. And this comes with practice. This comes with you discovering what style is right for you. Just the way I talked about how Dre was wearing that hat and it looked great on him because it was a part of who he is. He was authentic and he was himself. People see that and they react very positively. And so guys, now it's your turn. By the way, if you haven't liked the video, I would appreciate it. It helps more men find this video. In addition, if you haven't subscribed to my videos, I would really appreciate that. And if you want a free 47-page ebook on men's style, I link you to my free 47-page men's style ebook right down below. But I would love to hear from you guys in the comments, especially what motivates you to dress sharp. And if you can't seem to find the motivation to dress sharp, or if you're having trouble making the change, go ahead and let me know what is holding you back. All right, guys, take care. See you in the next video.